I asked where you guys were watching from, and we've got Portugal, we have Cambridge, Delhi, amazing. We have Switzerland, New Jersey, Tennessee, among others. Please let me know in the comments where you are watching from. Absolutely delighted to have you all on board. We have a bit of a packed episode today. I wanted to start by analyzing the raw dog food market, and I would suspect these will be the same pretty much in most countries. So if you are in the United States, you will have something very, very similar to the state of the UK market. But I am going to talk about the UK market predominantly, but I am very, very sure it'll be the same thing for the US and wherever you are in the world. We have a bit of a criticism here of the raw dog food market. We have so much disparity between brands that it's become a circus, and I'm quite angered about this. When you feed raw, you become one of the people who have been researching kibble and want to hopefully transition your dog from something ultra processed, something that's burnt into a pellet, and you want to give your dog something which is fresh and better quality. Well, a lot of these raw dog food manufacturers, in my opinion, aren't better than kibble. They are arguably the same or even worse. We have companies that do not display the amount of offal in the food. We have companies with such big disparities in the bone content. So we have bone content going from 4 to 5%, and then others have up to 15%. And this is across the board. It's not just a one-off category. There's several. We have companies putting peas in raw dog food. We have companies putting rice, organic wheat flour, and organic rice flour in the food. Up to 20% of the raw dog food is now rice or rice flour. This is madness, absolute madness. We have companies that do straight 80-10-10s, so they adhere to the whole prey ratios as it were. 80% meat, 5% offal, 5% liver, 10% bone. And then we have others that do straight 50-50s. So 50% meat, 50% fruit and veg. Where is the consistency there? How can they all be complete and balanced? How can they all be the highest possible quality for your dog? How can they all be adhering to the same trading bodies as everyone else? And for no one to be like, hey, we need to standardize a little bit all these formulas, because something raw is meant to be better for your dog. But if you put 20% rice, which is already being cooked, in the food, is that better for your dog? If you put a lot of peas in raw dog food, is that better for your dog? If you put 50% fruit and veg, is that better for your dog? Excuse me. I don't think that they are. I don't think 4 to 5% is enough bone. I think 15% is way too much bone. I'm lost really. I don't really know where to start. Just for a bit of context, in our branches we sell 80-10-10s, straight 80-10-10s with no veg, and we sell a couple brands with veg. One contains 10% veg, the other one contains 15% veg. They have been around for a long time, and we think they are okay. We wouldn't go any more than 15%. But 50%? 20% rice? These this needs to be investigated, or it needs to be regulated somehow. We need to do something about this. We can't just have this. We have good actors and we have appalling actors. We have really, really bad actors here. And this damages the reputation of raw dog food. What do you think? Do you think I'm wrong? What is going on? It's absolutely incredible, the fact that there is so much disparity between formulas. I mean, this is becoming the kibble market. This is what, prices are going up and people are getting a lot less for their money. Arguably, whenever you put 20% rice and a further 5% this and 5% there, and you only put 50% animal ingredients in a raw dog food, well, how good is that? Is it marginally better because it's minimally processed? Yeah, okay. But is it good? I don't think that's good. I think that's awful. We are getting to a point where the raw dog food market is open to criticism. And I'm a raw feeder. I'm a raw feeding advocate, but I want to call this out. What do you think? Do you think I'm full of it? Do you think I've got a point? I don't know. Excuse me. Right. Symptoms of arthritis are present in all older animals. So, this drug is given to older animals. Older animals have a much greater chance of death and disease. These drugs are by nature and cost one of the last things you try to treat the disease, and the only company that makes it happen has deep pockets. Lawyers love deep pockets and vulnerable people. I'm not surprised that everything that happens to a dog or cat after starting these drugs gets blamed on the drug. This isn't the first time and it won't be the last. That is quite a vague statement and an incomplete statement, but I'm going to comment on it nevertheless. So it is true that Librela and Solentia are given to the older population of dogs and cats. Librela and Solentia are arthritis drugs. Zoetis is involved in a lot of criticism coming from lots of Facebook groups. We have done our fair bit to bring these comments to the forefront and give them some limelight. Pets being sick, pets dying, and pets not being well after being given like Librela and Solentia. The problem, as you say here, is that these drugs are generally given to older animals. Some of these older animals will indeed have some comorbidities, will already have some underlying common problems and health issues. So these drugs may exacerbate those problems. So yes, as I've always said, it's going to be very, very hard to prove correlation and causation at the same time. And so this is the state of things. Should you give your dog an arthritis drug? Unless it's the last resort, and I would go into it with eyes wide open. But the criticism of a lot of people, to be fair, hasn't been that. It's been that they have been told by their vet that there were no adverse effects. That's what they have been telling me and telling the world, that vets haven't given them the full rundown of possible side effects. They've just said, here, take this is wonderful, end of the story. So that's where the aggravation, I believe, comes from. If you are told that your dog or cat might potentially have a few issues, then you might change the way you think about things. But that's why, Thanks for the comment. Next one. Part of the general sad story of veterinary practices. Even if the large town I live in, which has around 10 practices, all but one have been acquired. then turned into mere branches of one or other of the giant vampire squid groups. A cartel, more like. Same old tactic seen across business. The vampire squids, big three or big four, kill off most local competition, then jack up fees, knowing that the other squids are doing the same angry face. The state of veterinary practices in this country and across the world, and you will have the same issue in the US, is out of bloody control. The vets aren't happy. People aren't happy. Veterinary staff aren't happy. The only ones who are happy are the investors because they are making more money. But whenever you consolidate and give power to big conglomerates, big conglomerates want to get more efficient at all costs. They don't care about your feelings, your love for animals. Now we are seeing a lot of vets being given allocated slots of time per patient, not being able to revisit patients. This is what I'm seeing from some vets and what they are commenting. So I'm not just giving my opinion for the sake of giving it. I see a lot of vets being burnt out. I see a lot of people being very, very angry at them. Maybe unjustified. You should never be angry at your vet. You should always treat people with kindness. But these people are overrun. They are overworked. And they only want the best for the animals. Now, big conglomerates and big corporates aren't going to stop here. They are going to carry on trying to make money. And trying to make money at your expense. And if a treatment is selling, and if a treatment is $1,000 or $10,000 or whatever, then that is the price they are going to charge, because where else are you going to go? Where else are you going to go, my friend? You can't go anywhere. And that obviously is going to be intertwined with things like insurance, and your insurance premium is going to go up every year, and it might get to a point of unsustainability. But we aren't there quite yet. We are in the process of being up the mountain and going up that ladder. And yeah, veterinary practices at the moment in the United Kingdom, most of them are corporate owned, and the services they provide to us are pretty subpar. The experience isn't great. The experience is not great at all. It's a money-making machine, which all businesses are, by the way. But the care, the empathy is not quite there, because all the decisions are made based on a P&L, profit and loss account, and it's all about maximizing profits, which is fine. All businesses to a certain extent do that. But again, when you lean out corporations, and when you are still getting rid of veterinarians, even though they are short-staffed, which is another trend I have been looking at, then you are in for a shock, I would say. So yeah, thanks for your question. We are going to talk about Jollyes here, and Jollyes is the second largest retailer here in the UK, and apparently they have been substituting certain raw dog foods for their own white label. Now, this comment here, Sam, most of them pro dog, finer by nature being two. They are promoting their own brand, which are Durham Animal Feeds and White Label, and Wilson's White Label. I think they are keeping a couple of other brands. So I went onto Jolly's website and I couldn't see this. I could see Pro Dog and I could see other bits and bobs. So I don't know whether this is like a one-off in one retailer, in one shop. I don't know whether they are white labeling everything, and I don't really know to what extent everything is being done in Jolly's. Jolly's has a pretty uphill battle when it comes to the retail market here in the UK. Why? They aren't public. Pets at Home are a public company, so if you have a pension in this country, part of your pension might be going into Pets at Home, into shares of Pets at Home. So they have unlimited resources because everyone gets put on a pension by default in this country. So a lot of the public market companies will have unlimited resources to a certain extent to grow and be capitalized. But Jolly's is privately funded. They've been given £120 million in the latest round of investment, or they've been acquired by someone and they've put money or whatever, and they are losing money like hand over fist, basically. The steep discounts, all of the bad practices I see. I mean, it's not a software company. This is not Google. This is not Amazon. This is selling products for a very, very small margin. If you look at Lidl, if you look at Walmart, if you look at Costco, the margins, Tesco, the margins are 1%, 3%, 2%. If you give 50% off a lot of items, how much money are you making? You're losing money. And so these investors are losing money. If they are happy losing money, then so be it. But yeah, Jolly's has a bit of an uphill battle. The industry is pretty fragmented still, and we always advocate for people, and we are biased here, and we are proudly biased. Shop in your local pet shop. Go down to your local pet shop, and that tender will have put, like me, all their life savings into a dream, into the love for dogs and cats. And they are there every morning, every afternoon, and every night. And they dream about the business. And they dream about making it and staying afloat and surviving, and business rates and wages and employers' liability insurance and all these things you don't see. So if you are going to go to Jolly's or Pets at Home or Walmart or Chewy or whatever, scrap it. Go to your local pet shop. They will be hopefully 10 times chirpier, 10 times happier. The products will be better, hopefully, because they will have put the time, the effort, and the resources into getting the best for your dogs, the best quality. And they hopefully won't be selling all these sugars and all these rawhide things that a lot of the big box retailers buy and sell for your dog. So go down to your local pet shop. You know, it's a tough gig, and very, very few make it past 2-3 years. It's a really, really tough gig. So anytime you buy from us, you watch any of our content, you are supporting. So thank you very much. You are supporting a dream, and it's something that you see, that you just want to. You love dogs. You get into it for the right reasons, but it's tough, you know. So whenever you encounter these companies with £120 million round of investment, when Pets at Home have unlimited resources, it's tough, you know, because these people have unlimited resources and a lot of money, and I don't. I have a very, very limited amount of money, and I have staff, I have responsibilities, and so, yeah, go down to your local pet shop. Support your local pet shop. My cat is having severe diarrhea and vomiting. She lost 3 pounds in a year. They claim it's IBD, but she became ill after starting this. I'm pulling the drug. Not using anymore. Sadly, she needs it, and it worked amazingly for her osteoarthritis. But I need to make sure it's not the drug. Yeah, so if Solensia or Librela are administered and your dog or cat get side effects, apparently, if you take the dog or the cat off of the drug, those symptoms go away. So a good modus operandi is for you to stop the treatment if you see the dog or cat deteriorating. Now again, if your cat already has IBD, there's a few things you can do. So IBD, IBS, leaky gut. Anytime your cat's gut is irritated, it's because the nutrients, the food you are providing your cat with is not of the best quality. Or there is something that's aggravating your cat's stomach. So the first thing I would do would be to read all the ingredients in your cat's food. And so, what are we giving the cat to make the cat have IBD every time the cat eats? Any natural flavors, any sugars, any cereals, anything poor quality will be bad, detrimental to your cat's health. So that would be the first thing I would do. I would then include a bit of a probiotic and a source of fiber. Insoluble fiber or soluble fiber. Anything with fur on is a wonderful source of fiber for cats. A probiotic, I would get a probiotic for my cat. I do not, for the life of me, understand why whenever our dogs or cats have IBD or IBS or flatulence or whatever, we do not analyze the ingredients we are giving our cats and dogs. And a lot of these things come from their diet. I was talking to Dr. Brendan Clark, who's one of the raw pet medics here in the UK. He's a very decorated, very famous to a few doctor and veterinarian, and he is a raw food advocate. And what he was saying that the glycocalyx is one of the walls of the gut, and sometimes that wall line can be permeated, can be exploited, as it were, if the quality of the food you give yourself or you give your dog or cat deteriorates that cell wall. And that's how a lot of these diseases start, because the sugar and the protein together causes harm to your dog or cat. And so that's something we are going to start talking a bit more on this channel, because it's really, really important. I would put the cat on a single protein food, highly digestible food, fresh food if you can. I would not feed the cat any treats that wouldn't be a single source, so 100% chicken or 100% venison, 100% salmon, whatever, and I would take it from there. But if your cat has IBD, the first course of action is to look at the ingredients of the food. It is what it is. There's literally nothing else, There's literally nothing else. And with that, let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.